Hey gang, today we are back in War of Assault Squad 2, War Assault Squad 2, and since I've had the British in pretty much all the videos so far, actually all the videos, I thought I'd continue the trend but put them on the defensive this time. So with Brexit being fairly old news, I thought, why not throw a scenario out there where I could use the EU forces going in against the British, so the EU in this situation has invaded the Great British Isles. We've got a cool coalition of different military vehicles, different militaries in general here. These are just the standard EU infantry though, since they're actually, they have their own faction in the Red Rising mod. But we've got a bunch of cool vehicles, and on the British side I've got some static weapons, which I'm not 100% used to using, but I think this will go pretty well. I haven't ran this scenario out yet. I think this is okay balance-wise, but I mean, we'll find out. We'll see how the AI reacts. But we'll go ahead and start left to right to introduce you to our forces. We've got a recon squad up here, which is actually just an actual squad, one squad leader, 2 fire teams of 4, plus 2 guys that didn't fit on the APCs. I have an Italian APC, a Polish tank, Polish APC, and Italian tank to make up our left side. We've got another recon squad here, plus 4 guys. We've got the ABG 50, the French tank right here. And then we've got 4 of their APCs. You can see the nice little EU symbol right there. And we've got another one of those tanks back there. And that's going to take us over here to our right side with our German forces, with 2 Leopards and then 4 of the M113s, I think. Then we've got our advanced squad with 2 other dudes here. So that's going to round out our EU forces. I had to buff them up a little bit just because I think the British defenses are pretty solid. So the British are outmatched in terms of armor, but do have a lot, like I said, static weaponry wise. So we've got Challenger 2 hiding in the rubble of this building here. With its 120mm gun, it's going to be pretty formidable. We've got a squad back here with a fixed 50, which I'm very excited to use. I'm really happy to see that in action. We've got men placed around here in hold positions. We have 4 mortars back here, the L16 mortar, which is actually the British military's mortar, so I'm excited to use that. More fire teams back here and along these greenhouses in this building. We've got 2 more mortars right here. I believe these are 81mm, so I think they should be able to take out the APCs, but they probably aren't going to do much against the tanks. Then we've got more fire squads up here, our main firing line, as it were. We've got another Challenger 2 just holding it down on this main street, just waiting for the German forces to crawl up here. We've got another 3 mortars back here, and another Challenger 2 with a wonderful, wonderful fixed 50mm. So when those APCs do let their troops out, they're going to get caught in a bunch of fire. And we've got another fixed 50 over here, once again with more men kind of scattered throughout this town taking cover. All in all, I think, let's see, we had 4, 2, so that's 10, so we have about 13 squads of guys over on the EU side, give or take. And over here we've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 British ones with 3 tanks versus the 6 tanks we've got over there. So hopefully these mortars do a lot of work. They've done the when I've kind of played around with them in the Aussies versus the Brits, they did a lot of work and only had 3 of them, and I think they were a smaller millimeter as well. But anyway, we have yammered on long enough. The British are in their positions, ready to hold. Let me switch back over to the EU, and we are going to go ahead and kick things off. Let me go ahead and switch back to where I can pull things up so I can get this started. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and take control of our EU forces here, and we're going to go ahead and move our guys up. Go ahead and try not to just run them down the middle of the street, because I feel like that's probably a little reckless, especially if, you know, they're trying to get into this town and they know, although it's just English countryside, something could go awry. For some reason, these guys did not want to move up, so we'll get them on the other side of the street. That one squad does see that Challenger 2 on the far right over there. Those guys, okay, they're moving. Actually, it might be the tank. The tank hasn't done anything about it. So, since they do see that Challenger 2, these guys are just going to huddle up and take cover. Oh, and there we go. Fire has started. Let's go ahead and hit this. And, man, my frame rate is dying here. So let's go ahead and zoom out here and see. This Challenger 2 has gotten wrecked, and it is still going. Man, this Challenger 2 is taking a beating, but man, is it cool. It is firing over here at these, the Polish tank. All of the tanks are moving, so they're going to be very weak on this left side over here. I think all the APCs, yeah, have let their infantry out. Yeah, this Polish tank is just going to charge right into this Challenger 2. And I think this Challenger 2 might be out. Let me go ahead and check. Oh, it'd be helpful if I could pull this up. Yeah, the Challenger 2's main gun is down. So we're going to go ahead and try to take control of some of these mortar teams, because if... Oh, wow, one of these mortar teams is already down. Yeah, let's see if we can get you guys to fire on that tank. I don't think it's going to do much. The fixed 50 has already gone down on this side. This has been a rough scenario. That mortar is wrecking things. We're going to hope this Challenger 2 can save it. But what we can do in this scenario... Oh, no, this Challenger's taking fire too, so... We're going to go ahead and pop back into the cinematic view here and watch this unfold. This is just a cacophony here of ridiculous movement. It does look like some of the German tanks might be out here. So the accessories are knocked out over on that other Challenger 2. This Challenger 2 looks fine, but I think everyone's dead in it, so yeah. And man, these forces are just getting wrecked. Yeah, the mortar is trying to fire, and it is just having a hard time real quick. Let's go ahead and check on, let's see, the EU's doing pretty solid here. Let's look at casualties. They've had quite a few, but man, the English are just taking it on the nose right now, and it is disastrous at the moment. We might have to come back to this and readjust, because man, this is getting out of hand. The British are just not handling all of this armor that well. This Challenger 2 is just having a time in itself. And man, my frame rate is dying. There's just so much fire. Looks like the infantry is having a tough time, and this Leopard is going to outmaneuver the Challenger. Probably should have put these on zone so that they would move. But it does look like one of these tanks down. Oh, that's an APC, not even a tank. But it does look like the tanks have swarmed and destroyed a lot. Looks like a couple of the mortar team guys have... Oh no, these may not be mortar team dudes. Yeah, they are not. Oh, actually, hold on. Yeah, I could use you guys on one of these mortars. They may not be able to take out a tank, but they might be able to take out here. Yeah, you guys come over here. Let me try to do something about this. Yeah, that guy's gonna die, maybe. Oh yeah, one of these mortar guys is doing some work. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Let's switch to the English. The mortars are doing work here, and it looks like all of the infantry is just hanging out back there. Man, the EU forces have just gone through and annihilated. Yeah, look at these. These tanks have just rolled up on the Challenger 2s. The mortars have not done the work I thought they would. Man, this is rough. This went downhill super fast. We're gonna go ahead and let. Man, I don't. The English just. Yeah, the English have a handful of guys, and they're all on mortars, which are not going to be able to take out those tanks. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this here. I'm going to bring you guys back in with a similar scenario, but I'm going to try to beef up the British forces, maybe add some bazookas, and maybe some things to stop the tanks. So give me just a second, guys, and I will be right back.